Alright, pedal Look Keo Blade original pedal fix take 2. So in an earlier video I had sanded down this part of the blade, but now it's much too flexy, maybe 6 Newton meters. I wanted it more like 12. So I have a stainless steel 1mm plate here, right there. So this was originally 1.7 millimeters thick. This carbon blade here, and I'm gonna bond this flexible stainless steel plate after I cut out some strips of it to this piece, and I'm gonna turn it into a mini leaf spring, just like a pickup truck, and use these as binder clips as well. Cut some thin strips. Let's see how it goes. Take 2. The quest for pedal greatness. Yeah. Okay, so I measured the plates, and these will be the binder clips here. I got my cutting wheel here. That's pretty thin, and I got it locked in the vise, and I measured it to the specifications of this length and width. So if this video gets posted, it probably worked. Stay tuned. One down, more to go. Yeah, so this is it so far. Right here. Hopefully you can see that on the camera. Right there. And I got these 2 plates right here. This one. This one right here, and I also take through that cutting wheel right there in here, so I'm going to replace the cutting wheel. These new ones here, right here. And then back to cutting. some melting going on. 6 little pieces here. Hopefully that picks up on the camera. On to the next step. Okay, so I sanded down all the sharp edges on the metal, and now I am bending these metal strips around the inside where I sanded down too much to create clips to attach to the carbon. So I have multiple clips here. So I'm just using these pliers here to attach it very carefully. Yep, that's where I'm at. Okay, so here's one so far, right there, and that has added some rigidity to the 16 Newton meter. Now I gotta put one more on this side and then test it before I put the third one. So that's where I'm at now. So I sanded down the inner, let me just take it out. I sanded down the inner clips so that it could clear the inner pedal to fit inside these pulleys, and then I'm putting it all together, putting it all back together, and gonna put that back together. Okay, so there it is, the metal stainless steel plate put back in there with the 2 clips right there. So now it's back to about 2 millimeters thickness. I'm gonna put it on the bike and test it out with my shoe to see if it's okay, and then I'll move on to the second pedal and repeat. But at least I can sand this plate down if it's too much tension. So I got some leeway now. Okay, so I'm putting my shoe on. I'm gonna test it out. I got the pedal already on this bike. So fingers crossed. Take one. Alright, here it is. Right here. So before, this one was the one that was way too thin, and it just caused too much float because the pedal tension was way too weak. So let's try this out. Okay, good. Definitely a lot better. Gonna see how it goes with the third metal clip. Alright. Added the third clip to the middle, the third metal piece to the middle of the carbon leaf spring. Take 2, clip in, clip out. Fingers crossed.
That's what it looks like now. 1, 2, 3. 3 pieces. Carbon on the bottom, stainless steel on the top. Just like a truck leaf spring. There we go. 1, 2, 3. Nice. That definitely feels a lot better. I think I could go with that. And I'll take it on the road, see how it goes. Alright. Because the road feel is really where it's at.
Alright, so take 3, I believe. The ride went well. It did increase the stiffness, but I wanted it a little bit more stiff, so I added an additional steel plate on the other side. So both sides surrounding the carbon in the middle have a steel plate, stainless steel plate. So let's see how that goes. Put it all back together.
Pedal tension, clip in, take 3. This is with the double steel plates. Let's see how it goes. Whoa! That's a lot stronger. Okay, so the initial clip-in was strongest, and then it got weaker as it went along. Okay, so take 4. I added 2 more pinch clamps on the ends of the double steel plate, going in reverse motion. So 3 facing down, 2 facing up, so the plates don't slip as much. And here it is, take 4. So definitely added some stability. I actually got some positive engagement now. So I plan on adding some Loctite to it to fuse them all together so nothing slips, and that's the end of the video. It worked a little bit, not as good as I thought it would be, but it's definitely usable now, which is good, so that's a plus. So in conclusion, for the Look Keo Blade little science experiment, basically, don't do what I did and sand off too much from the 16 Newton meter to change it into a 12 Newton meter, because I took off nearly 1 millimeter, or 0.7 millimeters of thickness, because it was originally 1.7 millimeters of thickness, and I took it down to 1 millimeter of thickness, which was more like 6 to 8 Newton meters of torque after that. I would say take off 0.2 millimeters of thickness from the 16 Newton meter, and then dry fit it on your pedal and test it to see if it's to your liking. If it's to your liking, then get the nail polish and cover the exposed carbon fiber, and you'll be good. So if I was to do it all over again, that's what I would have done. End of video.